Hello and welcome to ZeniRS Frost Dragon Guide. To start off with, I'm just going to make sure everyone knows the point of this video. I know there's a lot of Frost Dragon guides out there, obviously. As you can search in them, you get a lot of results. But this one's particularly special because I'm not going to be using overloads or yak or anything unachievable to just a regular player. It's all, my stats aren't anything particularly special. Arguably the prayer is a bit expensive, but that was through work and I kept that up. Basically what I've got in my inventory, I'll just get straight into the frost dragon thing. What I've got in my inventory is what you'll need. I don't take food because I've got soul split, which restores health for anyone who doesn't know, and you can just use between Mage Protect and Soul Split to do that. Armor wise, just take something with good defense bonus and prayer bonus, perhaps Bando, so I know that has a prayer bonus. I would recommend Red Cape over Fire Cape purely because of the prayer bonus, which is plus 12, and that is really quite needed. So the defense bonuses are good. Net is not prayer bonus, glory because I don't have a fury. Obviously, fury is better. Defender because you do not need an anti-dragon or anti-D-fire or DFS or whatever you think you might need. Gloves, there's no real substitute for them. Ring, I've left that blank because I personally would prefer to take a ring of wealth. But I know a lot of people will have imbued rings, or would rather take a berserker ring or some sort of ring to teleport out. I use house teleport. So that's completely up to you. Range gear, I'll just quickly switch that clip now. Yeah, and this is the gear I use if I was ranging. My range level isn't particularly good. 87. If you're 99, it's arguably a better method. Frost dragons are known to be weak to ranged and stab attacks, as are most dragons. I'd recommend just using basic stuff, so D-hides, Armadil if you have that, or Carols maybe. Again, it is not prayer bonus, perhaps a Verax Helm might be more useful, but it has a negative ranged attack bonus. Broad bolts purely because they're cheap and very effective. If you do not have broad bolts because you're not 55 Slayer, it's possible for you just to use adamant bolts or mithril bolts. If you have a bit more money to spend and you want to do your trip quicker, particularly if you're higher range level, then you might want to use rune or ruby bolts. I'm not 100% sure, I don't use this method much. My inventory is pretty much the same, except from obviously the supersets. I have range potions. A tortoise, you can substitute that for a terror bird. The cannon, I believe, is needed. It quickens up the trip by 2, I'd say, and you only use about 300 cannonballs. That's only 77k, and that is, at the current price of bones, I believe 4 bones will cover that cost. So to speed up your trip by almost double, and to have such only, I know that you lose 4 bones perhaps, but you wouldn't be able to get them as quickly without using the cannon. Also, using the visage rate, if you think about it, the more drags you kill, the more likely it would be over a period of time that you get a visage. If you just think about that, you might understand better. Okay, I'll show you how I get there. I'm just going to put back on my melee gear. Okay, now I've got my melee gear back on, I'm going to show you what I believe is the quickest way to get there. So, if you teleport to Falador, with all your inventory set up, it will make it a lot quicker. Now, my house is already in Rimington, but I would seriously recommend you changing it to Remington using the estate agent just here, just off the centre of Falador. So if you're asking to move your house, I think it costs 5,000. It might cost, nope, 5,000. There you go. Then if you house teleport straight to Remington, with your inventory still, obviously you will appear in Remington. Then I'll just speed this bit up so that you can see how to get there. Okay, and we are now here at the Frost Dragon Cave. It is in the mysterious entrance. If you go in for your first time, I believe you get 15,000 Frost Dungeoneering XP, but I'm not 100% sure. Before coming, I'd recommend having full summoning points, prayer points, and then rest outside so you got run on. It will help you, but as you saw on the way here, there is an area where you can recharge both summoning and prayer. First thing you do, this wall looks a bit busy, but I'm just going to use it anyway. Anti-fire, so with mage protection. I'm going to use Berserker to make the potions last longer. This is what I call a busy world, and I would not usually stay here. There's this side, the southern side, and the northern side. I think both sides have an equal amount of dragons, but I'm again not 100% sure. Set your cannon up in the middle or as central as possible so that it targets as many dragons as possible. Usually, auto retaliation off, I'd say, unless you're not using a cannon, because as you'll see, well, maybe not, because everything seems to be taken, as there's 4 cannons here. I would normally hop if there was more than 2, but as you can see there, your cannon would just spray a series of dragons and they can just get on your back, and worst case scenario, if mage protection fell down, I believe they hit about 500 with their breath. With melee maybe 350, 300 odd. Sorry about that random noise. So yeah, just keep checking the multi-cannon. Obviously this dragon's having a bit of a fit on top of it, but never mind. If you can, try and trap them under the cannon. It will just kill it very quickly. Take the bones. You can take charms if you want, but I think you only get 6 to 8 crimsons per trip. Using Tortoise, I get 44 bones per trip. It would be 46, but I leave a space for cannonballs and the house teleport. These sharks are worth taking because even though I do have soul split prayer, it can be a bit tedious often switching, as you'll see here. Oh no, maybe not. Just keep taking the bones. There is a visage rate. I've had one, and I think this account has killed possibly 3,500 of these things, which does sound like a lot, but with a yak you're supposed to be able to do 180 per hour. So over the course of having 85 Dungeoneering, which is about 6 months, I got it very quickly after Dungeoneering came out. It's okay. My friends also who do Frost Dragons on a common basis, one of them got his first Visage in about 200 kills, and the other after about a similar amount. So no one's really 100% sure what the Visage rate is. All of us that I know of, when we've had our Visages, have had a Ring of Wealth on. I'd recommend summoning the Tortoise when your inventory's getting low. I repot on 116, but I've forgotten there, so You can take the herbs if you want again, but I'm not 100% sure how efficient that is, because obviously one bone is worth about 18 to 19k usually. I mean, sometimes there's exceptions to the rule and they'll go up to 21 or 22k, and sometimes they'll go down to 15 or 14. But usually it's very, very good money. While I've been rambling on, I've made... Oh, hang on. It will check it in a sec. Oh gosh, what is it doing? Okay. Just kill this one in there. It looks like, because it's quite a busy world, I should be able to price check it, hopefully. Be quick, be quick. Okay, 5's 93k. And I've done 8, so that's about 180k, no, what am I on about 150k odd, just sitting there, just after that very short amount of time. It's very good money, and the only requirement is 80 dungeoneering. I'd recommend using a rapier or a CLS. CLS is arguably better because it's proven that your cannon will hit more accurately depending on your attack bonus. Fangzor RS, a friend of mine, covers this in one of his videos, so check him out. I'll put his link in the description somewhere. Yeah, so that's about it. These do drop effigies. Last trip, just before I decided to make the guide, I got, I think it was one effigy, obviously, and then a couple earlier I got one, so I've got 2 sitting in the bank waiting for me to do, which I'll probably use on something like summoning, because obviously I'm not very high. So yeah, good luck frost dragoning, and I hope this guide's been useful. Please thumbs up and subscribe, because I'll make more very normal account videos for normal people, not with, you know, overloads and yaks and everything. And thank you for watching, and please subscribe.